Good morning. Just made myself a cappuccino. That's a bit small. How do you make... Yeah, because it doesn't fill it to the top. How can I make it bigger? Did we not press the right setting? We're still adjusting to our new coffee machine.
Add more.
Yeah. Well, I like a milky coffee.
You have to remake the whole coffee.
No, surely you can just do hot milk.
No.
Yes, you can. It's a momentous occasion because we got our box of mince pies from Riverford, the vegan ones. Every single time that I would add them to the order, it would sell out. And this is the first time I've ever been able to get them for however many years of being a customer. Can we... Do you want one?
Yeah. I mean,
look,
I'm
look.
on a diet, but...
No, look. This is what I wanted to do for so long. I've wanted to put them and heat them up in the Arga. I just feel like this is so Christmassy.
And you heat them at 160 degrees in the Arga.
So we've got a nice sourdough loaf, also from Riverford. Get this every week, and I'm gonna have, I would usually have mushrooms, but we don't have any. I'm having some butter. This is the naturally, this is my favourite one. Ignore the mess. After the lovely kitchen tour, here's a nice slice of reality. Last night we were so exhausted from Vlogmas this week that we had dinner. And that's our lunch. Is that lunch as well? It's just
yes,
crap. And we did not wash up because we were like, nah.
Also, because the bin...
Oh yeah, that was in the way. Yeah, the bread bin was mouldy, so we washed that up and that was kind of in the way. You know, you've got something annoying in the washing up pile and it stops you from doing other washing up because you know you have to do that first. Yeah. So yeah, a nice slice of reality. That's more like it. That milk is also from Riverford. It comes in... This camera is just wonderful for focusing. I look so good. Riverford also do this oat milk. Where's the brand? It is Re-Roots organic oat milk.
Re-rooted.
Re-rooted. No, it says, oh, re-rooted, yeah. So we get that every week, sourdough every week, and then we get like the veg box and everything else every fortnight. And like fruit. Definitely recommend. And I'm gonna use my cranberry jam that we had sort of left over. So we made a video called like festive drinks, which is coming up soon, or you've already seen it, I have no idea. And to make the syrup, you have to cook the cranberries down and then we sieved it and the leftover is like a delicious cranberry jam. So I'm gonna have that on the toast on one slice and Marmite on the other slice. These teeth are really hurting at the minute. The Invisalign is, I'm over it. This bread is heaven, as is this cranberry jam. Like, is that not just the most perfect breakfast? These smell like absolute heaven. I do have a recipe for vegan mince pies, which I'll link below. I'm so excited. I need to make a big batch of them. I'm gonna make some on Monday, I think. I'm gonna make some mince pies. I'm gonna make some tiffin. And what was the other one? And I'm gonna make some orange shortbread because it's my dad's birthday on Tuesday and I feel like a day of baking. And then I'm gonna bring it all and we're gonna have a feast. And I just want some mince pies. They're really easy to make. But look. And if you don't know what mince pies are because you're not from the UK, I don't know whether they have them elsewhere. Do they have them elsewhere?
Mincemeat pies? No. Oh, I have no idea.
I don't think so. It's not actually mince. It's
It used to be meaty.
It's just fruit.
Long time ago.
It's just fruit.
No, it's fruit, yeah.
Dried fruit, cooked fruit kind of thing. It's delicious. Just like a little fruity pie. Alex has just nipped out to return some packages. I'm still looking a mess. But we have our wood burner in position now, which is exciting. It's very dark. It's in position, looking wonderful. That was put in on Friday. So I started to hoover all the shelves ready for painting and I'm gonna hoover the whole room because there's dust everywhere. But the hoover ran out of battery. I'm gonna do a mist coat on the plaster now it's fully dried. I love this colour. Don't you think plaster is such a nice colour? So basically I'm just going to dilute some white paint, paint that, and then I might start the ceiling because I feel like that's the simplest way to begin because I can just paint the ceiling and the coving. I need to dust over here and fill that thing there. We might need a bit of extra plaster or filler. I'm not really sure how to solve that little problem the electricians did. that seems like the most logical starting point. I'll remove this curtain pole because we need to paint that. And then when that's done, we can then work on the walls because that needs filling and stuff. So I imagine today my goal is to mist coat this and at the very least get started on the ceiling and fill some holes. But I think I'll get Alex to fill some holes and maybe even do a coat of paint on the shelves. We're just going to paint everything the same colour. These shelves eventually are going to be changed because I would like the bottom to have a cupboard for storage for things like games and stuff you don't want on display. And then there's storage for that in the living room. And then the shelves, I want them to be properly built in rather than these ones which have these kind of plasticky bits that I don't like the look of. And also to have it flush to the wall because right now there's kind of like a gap. I know it won't be very visible when it's painted and there's books in there, but it's just kind of a bit of a perfectionist thing that I would like to solve so they look a bit nicer. We'll try and work with what we have, but I think a fresh coat of paint would make a massive difference nonetheless. I'm gonna go into the garage though because I actually haven't seen it. I didn't look at it yesterday because the guys have done a bit of progress. The wind is outrageous today. It's been a storm in the UK. If you haven't watched the garage video, I'll leave that up here so you can see what's been going on in the garage and our plans and stuff. But they have plasterboarded the ceiling, as you can see. We're not gonna be plastering it, so they've done a mist coat, I think, of paint. And for the separation between the plasterboards, they're gonna do this. There's some, like a type of beading, as you can see on the edge here, which saves money, simpler. You can kind of see it being started here along this beam. Saves it having to be plastered because plastering is expensive and it kind of will add to the vibe. And then this wall's gonna have matchboard, so sort of vertical, not that way, sorry, originally it was going to be this way, then we realised it wouldn't work and there's a lot more wastage I think when you do it this way, so it's going to be vertical, so that won't be plastered either. We're going to have it horizontal, kind of like this, but the floor, you can see how much it slopes. It would have been kind of difficult to cut it and there would have been a lot of wastage, especially then sort of matching it up over here and over here. So we've gone for vertical, which will give it some character. And then this wall will be painted too. There's a few damp patches still just because this room was filled with damp for so long. And there was a delay on the windows, which meant there was a delay on the roof. So water has been getting into this room for longer than we had ever hoped. You can kind of see like little drip marks. Now that we actually have the windows, it just needs a little bit of time to dry out and we can paint this wall. Our door is coming in January. This wall can't be built until we have the French door, but that's exciting when that gets done. And then the last thing will be to fully paint the room because I think they'll just mist it ready for us to paint essentially, and then we can get the carpets in and then move in. Yeah, there's a little update. Little bit of a rookie error. I used the roller that we were using to paint the back of the wood burner, the colour that we're going to paint the walls in, and the roller had soaked up a lot of that paint, so the mist coat kind of just turned into a coat because it's the colour. I don't know, you can't really tell on camera, but it went on basically a lot thicker than I'd hoped because I should have changed rollers. So if you're going to do a mist coat, use a fresh roller because that was just full of emulsion paint that wasn't diluted, and that's gone straight on to plaster, so that's probably gonna crack. Hey ho, what are you gonna do? Let's play a game of finding Roxy. Anyone spot her? You think maybe on the floor, maybe out in the hallway. She has made her way inside all of these sofas. Like, she is inside the sofas. Roxy? How did you get in there? I wonder if we can see her from the other side. Rosie, what are you doing in there, little one? Flobberlob. Father is home, getting annoyed at all the holes that have got those, what are they called? The little things basically that hold screws in the walls.
I can't even think.
They are all very stuck because they've been there for a very long time.
Well, these ones, I don't know what they're hanging up here.
Probably quite, like, maybe some expensive art or something.
Weights, apparently.
Huh?
They're dumbbells. But I don't know, I can't get that out because it's so deep. I might be able to... You screw that in a bit and yank, but I don't want to destroy the plaster. Same here.
Yeah. I've taken all the things out of the shelves. Doesn't it just look already better because it looks like illuminated? That is actually making me feel like we should put lights in the bookcases. Don't you think that would be lovely? Huh?
What? Lights?
Yeah, imagine. Like, how nice would that be to have like lit up bookcases? Anyway, one day. That's not at all important. I've removed all the stuff and I've actually become a bit optimistic about these bookcases that I don't... Sorry, that's my alarm telling me to post my video. I'm getting a bit optimistic that we don't need to fully overhaul them. I think that with a few holes filled, a lick of paint and the cupboard at the bottom being made by our carpenter one day, then they'll be fine. I don't absolutely love these. They're a bit visible, but to be honest, I just can't be bothered. I'm at that stage now and I just think if I painted them all to match the colour and there were books in there, you just wouldn't see them. So I just don't care. I'm not entirely convinced the point of them, why they're not all built in, but anyway. Because our walls are so crooked, they've obviously built them in to be straight and there's a gap, so I'm just trying to think of ways to fill this gap so it doesn't look like this. I feel like you could just put some wood in some of the gaps and then fill it with like filler, but I don't know. We'll get brainstorming. But I think that we're going to paint them a different colour to the walls, and I think I'm going to use the leftover paint from the dresser, which is Lick Green 09, which is a sage green, and then because I wanted to paint the room green originally, but I think because of this, I think it would look funny if the whole room was painted green, but I just don't think it would look right around the granite, so I think neutral will work better. But I think it'd look cool for the bookcases to be a different colour, so we're going to give that a go, because why not? We're attempting to fill this gap with some expanding foam. We are officially prepped, apart from this hole here, but we filled holes, as you can see. All of this has been filled, and we've used the expanding foam around the back of both shelving units, so when that's dried overnight we can that one was when we first started, definitely used. Alex, oh my god. Yeah, that we started with one can and then used another can and it was way more powerful. So you definitely haven't got the knack to it yet. But basically we'll cut that back in the morning and then fill it and then paint over it. And it should make these cupboards look or these shelves look way more built in. And when it's all painted, I think it's gonna look really great. Obviously the shelves are never gonna be flush to the wall because the wall behind it is all curved, because whoever built the shelves didn't put a back to it, which maybe one day we would do. I don't know if we'd ever bother to do that. Do you reckon we'd ever bother to do that, Al?
Do what?
Because the back isn't flush, it's a wall. Whoever built it didn't put a back to it.
Who cares?
This is the point we're at with our renovations. It's a bit like, who cares? Because if you have something there already that's like good enough, it's a bit like, well, when there are books in the shelves, you won't even be able to tell. maybe in a few years if it bothers me I'll do it, but I don't think it really matters. So I'm making an all plants now. Roxy is... What are you doing, little bubby? She's sleeping on my t-shirt. Roxy often gets in a grump if we are doing DIY because we don't give her attention. I want to show you the reality of our hallway right now. It is outrageous. We have a bath. This has been in our hallway for months. We've got some of the living room stuff over there. We have this rug, which we've had to move. It was over here, but we've had to move out of the way. We put a rug on the rug because Roxy kept lying on it. These are all our tools that we've been using. We've yanked out. We got some Christmas decorations out the attic, and Alex bought this light up reindeer for the garden that we haven't had time to do anything with yet. And this is from the living room. This is recycling. It's just an absolute shambles, and it's getting to both of us because we just want our tidy home back. And we do have our kitchen. I mean, this is not the most tidy. I tidied this top to bottom this morning, but we had loads of packages to return, so it was a bit of an explosion. I just want my house back, which is why I'm feeling quite motivated to do this living room this weekend and just get it painted and not worry, and just, I think I'm just going to spend this evening, so Alex is going to fill that hole, I'm going to paint the ceiling, and then tomorrow I think I'm going to wake up really early and I'm just going to get to it because we want to relax. We want to have our Christmas tree up. We want to have our furniture in there. And then in the new year, we'll sand the floors. That's just such a big job, having done the kitchen. I did want to do it before Christmas, but I don't want to put myself under that kind of pressure. I think it's also a good lesson for me to not be the kind of all or nothing person and just say it's good enough. That's like one of my mantras, that it's good enough. I have to challenge myself that it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. It's good enough. And the room being painted, and we can put the rug down, we can have our Christmas tree up, we can actually use our living room, we can put new lights in because the electrician's coming next week, we can put our television on the wall, hopefully build the television into the wall, like wire it all in. And then in the new year, we can have like a week where we move everything out and do the floors and get to it. My only concern is, will that actually happen if we move into that room? Will I want to get it all out? I don't know. We're also changing our radiator. So yeah, there's a lot to think about, but I'm going to make some all plants. We're having peri peri strips and spicy rice. All plants is a lifesaver. So I'm going to whack that in the microwave and then we'll have some dinner. So how long does this take? 12 and a half minutes. Woo! Here is dinner. I think that's peri peri chicken with some rice and beans and then peas. It looks really yummy actually. It really smells nice. Excited to dig in. Alex bought some Camden Marmite Ale. What's your review?
It's okay.
Are you okay? What out of 10?
Between 4 and 7. I like it. It was on sale. Well, it wasn't on sale. It was reduced to clear, probably because no one was buying it. So it's £1.50 for 4 cans in a box. So I bought 5 times 4 equals 20. But it's nice. It's almost a bit wintry.
What is it out of 10 though?
8.
8?
Yeah.
Oh, high reviews over here.
It's a bit like Guinness, but nicer.
That should be the tagline.
I like the colours. I don't know, it's more pleasing than Guinness, even though it tastes quite similar.
No, it doesn't.
Really?
It tastes like a pale ale. It doesn't taste like Guinness at all. Guinness is disgusting. I hate Guinness. That's
why
nice.
I thought you'd hate it. But okay.
No, that doesn't taste anything like Guinness. It tastes like beer.
Maybe you really like Guinness.
No. We're all done for the night. I've done another coat on the ceiling. It's actually changed the atmosphere in the room quite a lot. Having a few issues with this hole in the ceiling that was made when we had all our electrics done, but we're going to leave it because we're wanting another light here, because there's like one here, one here, one here, so we kind of figured it makes sense to have a fourth one. And I think when he was doing this room, that was his access point, so we're just gonna leave it and then wait until the electrics are done. We're just puzzling through our TV and speakers because we want it all to look very wireless. So that's gonna, kind of like one of those things that I wish, I don't know, orders of things always confuse me because we've just had this wall plastered and ideally we would have built the wires in before, but then also how do you do that realistically? No, because you have to get an electrician to do that. That would be possible if you were renovating your home and not living here, because you could line everyone up, but yeah, we want to put the frame TV here and then build the wires in so they go down here and into the shelves so you can't see and it obviously looks like a painting. And yeah, we're going to need to move our plug into here so that it's all hidden away when we eventually get cupboard doors and everything. But yeah, lots of progress, and tomorrow we're going to tackle the walls and the shelves, and it will be good. I feel very proud that we actually got all that done. Anyway, good night everyone. See you in the next episode of Vlogmas. Kind of nice uploading real-time renovation vlogs as they happen. Good night.